Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bourbon Over Baseball with your host Bob and co-host Matt this time. Say hello, Matt.
How you doing, Bob?
All right, so Peter is really busy with work, and Matt is one of the other main producers. He was actually on the blog before me, and he's one of the heaviest producers of content for the blog. And on Twitter, are you MLB Showdown Cup?
I think so. I don't even know.
Okay, so Matt also is the one that runs the league, the 2018 league that a lot of the people I think probably listening to this blog, subscribing or viewing, especially on Twitter, know him very well from that. Which I'm doing okay in, which I'm pretty happy about. I thought my
Yeah,
Titans were going to struggle, but they're turning it around.
yeah.
Um,
You got first place in your division.
Woohoo! So Matt is a big content producer, and he has been helping with Peter with cutouts and making the cards. He helped out a lot of the data at the beginning with Peter. So Matt knows this stuff, like the back of his hand. So we got a great expert with us today to talk about. We're gonna try to do 3 sets. It's gonna be a little longer. We're gonna do the Marlins, the Padres, and the Rangers. People have already probably seen the Marlins and the Padres. The Rangers will be posted as this blog goes up or as this podcast goes live, probably on Friday. So if you're listening to that, it's probably when it happens. But let's jump right into it with the Marlins. How are you feeling about these Marlins?
It's funny because as the whole time we discussed, we're like these teams are going to be terrible. But then if you look at our league, they're littered. Half these guys are probably in our league,
Oh,
even
I'm
though it's
sure.
just point savers.
Yeah, it's all about salary based and whatnot. I'm actually more interested to see where Derek Dietrich is next year.
Yeah.
But his card's not bad. A 7, 18 to 20 home run. So that's definitely playable.
Yep. And then you don't get any defense, but for the cheap points, I mean that's a good. If you have a 3+3 center fielder or something,
Yeah.
you could use them.
And he's not going to hurt you on speed. Having a 16
No.
speed guy is pretty good. But I think a lot of people with this JT, I haven't looked at all the cards yet. I just knew they got posted. I looked at obviously some of the Padres, but I'm excited to see some of these pictures now up close, so people will be gauging my reactions live, I guess. But I like JT Realmuto. Obviously stud card. He's only 280, which is not too bad for getting an 8 plus 7, 18 through 20 home run. What are your thoughts?
I mean, for a catcher, that's if you need your little offense with it, you're getting your defense too. Because most people, you go for that +9, 40-point catcher that can't do anything for you after that.
Yeah. Or you do what I did and get Francisco
Yeah,
Cervelli.
Cervelli.
I just love a 10 catcher, and
Yeah,
he reminds me of like the old Jason Kendall.
yep. Just
But
fill up the Pirates.
That's right. The only thing I don't like about this is the 1 through 5 out, but I mean, it is what it is.
No, an own chart ground ball is probably the worst thing you could have.
Yeah, and three through
Get
five
that
is
own
a is
chart
a
double
that's a
play.
rally killer.
The
Next,
amount it's funny now that I'm tracking like the own charts in that league. Like you just see it pop up, and like I think it's Rendon's leading the league right now, and it's terrible when it happens.
well, and it's actually interesting. I don't know. Have you done any of the drinking tournaments that I posted?
No.
Okay, well, me and my friends have done a few, and it's quite the drinking event if you hold true to it. But if you take back, it's still drinking, but you take a 5 sip penalty on your own out on your own chart. So I could just see a double play just is like not only devastating to your team, but like then you got to drink as well.
Yeah.
And also, everyone, I'm drinking a nice whiskey today from Western Reserve Distillers out in Lakewood. Um, so it's homemade organic whiskey. It's a delicious little treat. So we'll keep the bourbon going. Next up, we have Brian Anderson, a rookie who's actually doing pretty good this year, I think, as well. Um, is a 9 on base and plus defense. So this guy's pretty good.
Yeah, he's one of the ones that if you actually play as the team, this is about where your hope falls off after him.
Yeah, this is the Miami Marlins of old when they had Giancarlo Stanton and Christian Yelich. Your top priority is Brian Anderson. Maybe a next year Garrett, or is it Garrett Cooper or what, I forget his name, but next year he'll be pretty decent. But Starlin Castro is next. I guess the best thing here is that he's a 7.
Yeah.
Not much to talk about on Starlin Castro. Lewis Brinson. Um, if you get it on your chart, I guess it's pretty cool because you get a 12 or higher usually on second base,
Yeah.
which could be pretty good. But
And I think the best thing to describe, like when I was making these guys, was I learned half the team at that point, if not
oh,
more than half the team.
so you're an expert.
No, I knew none of them, and it was just like, oh, well,
Yeah. I don't know what Jeter's doing over there, but he's definitely They're better than half the Central right now in the
Yeah.
AL Central. So he's doing something right.
Stockpile the assets.
JT, we got more JTs in this team. JT Riddle, best thing here, you're going to get the, again, plus defense for only 50 points. And again, if you get it on your chart, I guess that's a big plus. They have big charts
Yeah.
for these guys. And I like what.
You need to face the Rangers pitching staff.
Yeah, there you go. And we'll see later with a little bit of Big Sexy is who you get to face. Which, again, as me and Peter have talked about before, is if there's low control, then you can take advantage of some of these guys, unless you're playing obviously like a Trevor Bauer, which is in my league, but or my team. How do you see that happening right now in the league that you're running? Do you see that?
Riddle's on a team actually.
Really?
So he's not terrible. I mean, because for 50 points you get your +5 shortstop,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think he actually has a couple home runs.
Yeah,
But like you said, Bauer, I think he's had 5 starts
I think so.
in our league, and before his most recent one, he'd only given up 3 runs going into his last start. And he gave up 4 in this start.
Oh,
So
man.
I mean, he just dominates.
Yeah, what I was talking about to some of my other friends that play is I think if you can get a stud pitcher, you're going to shut down the league, but you're going to pay a huge salary for it. And most people are probably going to go more balanced. And if you see the balance approach being drafted, you can grab these lower cost guys and take advantage of those low controls.
Yep, and you're seeing it now is because now we're like I said we're 5 starts in, so you're seeing like DeGrom start to really take over because I think his first 2 starts he struggled, but that's a 4, whereas you got the Bauer that's a 6. You think of like the old Schilling a 6.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
his stats were incredible when I was looking at your post about the statistics.
yeah,
Like him, I think it was him and Sale, which makes sense because in 2018 they were racing for Cy Young
right.
until they both got hurt. So
And it's
pretty cool.
You know, when Riddle comes up against him, you're hitting off of his chart automatically. You don't even get a chance.
Yeah. So that's interesting to note for people listening is that if you get a JT Riddle, you can really get a good value with the 50 points, get the plus defense at a good chart, but you really got to know that you're facing a league that you can sustain him in.
Yeah, that's probably your 9 hitter if you're trying to balance it.
Yeah. Next up, we have Miguel Rojas, I believe is how you pronounce it. And look at this defensive.
Everywhere.
He's got like every position.
That's like the old Aviles when the Indians used to have him. He's going everywhere.
This guy's a super utility guy. He's great for your bench if you're in a bench league. He can come in late and play any position as basically a plus. He's plus first base, plus shortstop, and a plus third base for only 30 points. Nothing crazy, he's not great. So you're looking at him maybe as a utility guy. It sucks as he's a C speed.
Yeah.
Next up, Martin Prado. He's been playing forever. Nothing good here.
Oh, it's 4 5s in a row.
Yeah. Brian Holiday. The best thing here is this is what you were talking about earlier. +9 arm for 50 points.
That's Peter's catcher right there.
Yeah, that's what is it really? In the Wisconsin Wolves?
That's the starting catcher.
So you get the value. So he went the other way.
Somehow.
He punted catcher and got the +9 arm. Next up is the utility guy is Yadiel Rivera. Nothing of note there, though I do like what he did with this red Miami Marlins.
Yeah, I saw the unique picture and I was like, okay,
That's pretty cool.
Throw something different there.
Jose Urena. This guy's actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
So we got the 3 control, 6 inning pitch, 340 points, and a 1 through 16 out. So just below what Peter likes. Peter is a big fan of the 4 control, 1 through 16 out. But 340, it's not too bad.
Yeah, he gives you a shot.
Yeah.
On a good day, he gives you a shot.
Yeah, I don't mind him. I think he's going to have a good card again coming up next year as well. For people that aren't just written the blog or not on Twitter, my name at Bob Bumbarger or at Don't Think You Are, or you can follow Peter at David Bush. I think it's 2016 or MLB Showdown 2016. Matt at I think it's MLB Showdown Cup.
Yeah, I looked it up after you said it before.
And then Bradley Buff, I believe, is the other account. We're pretty much the main contributors then for the next year's set for 2019, and you can see some of our power ranking previews that have been going out. So there's a lot of fun stuff going to be happening. So stay tuned to that. But we do have the 2018s that we're still trying to roll out. Just taking us a little bit of time. Don't worry, people. There's only a few more sets. Matt's cranking them out. Peter's trying his best, and I got one more to do. So this should be coming out soon for everybody. Next up, we have Wei Yin Chen. Nothing great here other than these 1 through 17 out for 150. I hope I don't have to ever have this guy.
Big gamble.
Caleb Smith. Same thing here. Nothing great. 5-inning pitcher. Good artwork. Dan Straley. Gives it the home run. Yeah, definitely don't want this guy.
Yeah.
Trevor Richards. This is another starter that goes 5 innings, 1 through 17 out.
On the team.
He's what?
A lot of young rookies on their team. I think there was two of the 5 starters are rookies.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they're playing. And I'm reading actually a book. If you're interested, Matt, MVP Machine. Have you read this book yet?
I have not.
So I'm not good at reading. I'm great at Audible because I drive quite a bit, so it's great to listen to this book. MVP Machine. It's on Audible. It's a great book. It's mostly about Trevor Bauer from the Indians, but it's a great book, and they talk about a lot of the hitters like Chris Taylor and Justin Turner, how they transitioned. But they talk at the end, which is where I'm at now, about developing talent within is cheaper than buying talent on the market. And so I think that's what the Marlins are doing is developing their talent within their organization. So that's why they're going to have a lot of young rookies versus going out and buying a Trevor Bauer.
When you think of all the pieces that they've cashed out, I mean, we could almost make a team of players they've traded. In their
outfield, if you think about, was it 2017 when they had, Ozuna, Yelich, and Stanton. That's like an MVP caliber outfield.
And then there's Dietrich still too.
Yeah,
even the guy on the Tribe this year, the reliever's been very reliable almost for getting him for free from Miami.
And they had JT at the time, I think, coming up. So, I mean, they had a crazy good team, but everybody was ending at the bad time where they weren't going to pay the salaries, But whatever, it is what it is. Let's see what Jeter does. My hope is they can revamp what they're doing down there. I don't know what Tampa Bay's doing. They might be moving to freaking Montreal, which is fine by me. They just need to get out of St. Peter's. They need to get either in Tampa or... Have you been to PNC Stadium?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful stadium. Everyone should be doing that nowadays. Making the stadium smaller, not these big stadiums. It's great for venues,
When I went, I wanted the upper deck so you could see that skyline picture.
Yeah. And if you sit in the upper deck, you feel like you're in the game. That's what's so great about PNC. I think stadiums going forward are going to look like this, even though I think Oakland's new stadium looks pretty baller if they get that going. But anyway, I digress. Back to the showdown. Kyle, Barraclough? Barraclough? Is it Barraclough?
I think it's Claw, but I don't. Okay. This is how I say it.
3 1 through 15 out. It's actually not a bad card. A 3 1 through 15 out for 50 points.
That doesn't give up a home run.
It's not bad. I actually could see that as being a decent value.
I think that somebody's third or fourth reliever in our league. So you have him as your just in case, or if you face 3 5s in a row, you could toss him out there and at least you have a shot.
I agree. I think this is a good steal in terms of value per what he's worth. So I like him. Adam Conley. So this guy's more of a standard solid reliever, 3 1 through 17. Now this is like Greg Swindell of the original Showdown type person. Got a nasty picture, looking like he's fierce. But he looks like he's ready to go. I like that guy. That's an interesting card. Tehran Guerrero, a 2 1 through 14 out. I hate 1 through 14 out players. I probably ranted about this on the podcast before. But for only 10 points, that's interesting.
I think he might be a Wisconsin Wolf, if I remember right.
It's almost like Peter is just setting his team up with these solid...
He went all after the Marlins.
Yeah, he knew what was happening. But this is interestingly good value. For only a 10-point reliever, he's not going to... I mean, I'm thinking a 10-point reliever is like a 0 type person, a 1. But if you're only getting a 2 here, The part that brings them down is the 1 through 14 out. Now I don't know how many times you've seen this happen, Matt, but I see 15s all day while rolling, all day.
I feel like you'll have the random hot streak, like the Freeland from the Rockies,
Mm-hmm.
6 out through 14, and then I've seen innings where it's like 7 straight that are 15 or higher.
And that's probably weighting my bias. I mean,
Yeah.
statistically, it's not that big of a deal, but I actually like Kyle Freeman's card, and I liked it a lot. But I seen the 15s happen, and I go, ugh, I don't want that.
Yeah, you got to figure out where you're going to go because you give it up somewhere. It doesn't matter if it's control or out, but you give it up somewhere.
Yeah. And then last we have Drew Steckenrider. Well, this is a name. But so this guy 1 through 18 out, but he's more points, 70 more points than the guy we just talked about.
Yeah, I would take the other one probably.
For sure. But that's the Marlins in a nutshell. Nothing crazy, as people probably expected. There's nothing crazy about the Marlins. You're not gonna. There's a lot of comments on this Marlins post. I didn't even look. Again, I've been so busy with work, and I know Peter's been just as busy. So I'm glad that Matt and Bradley have been helping, and especially Matt that's on the podcast today. So definitely give him a follow on Twitter for what he's doing. Because he's taking it above and beyond where people like making the cards, but we all live in different areas. Luckily, randomly, I'm letting everybody know Cleveland's got a crazy good Showdown base.
Apparently.
There's a handful of people that are in the Cleveland area that play, and me and Matt are both from the, I guess, northern Ohio area. Yeah. And it's just random that we both are big Indians fans. I joined the blog. Peter's running it with Matt. And I'm like, oh my God, we're both Indians fans. And Matt's releasing all these Indians posts. So you guys will see a great 2019 set that Matt will be producing the Indians for. I'm going to give him the Indians, guys. He's a bigger Indians fan than I am. I'm a good Rockies fan, so I'll take the Rockies. But I think... What's up?
It's funny because I was talking to Peter about it the one day just because I was randomly just Googled Showdown because, I used to play it all the time. And I came across his, and like the first post that I came across was a 2016 before the cutouts.
Oh, and yeah.
That, when I contacted him, and then from there it's just been kind of.
That's so how my story went was I used to follow the other site.
Yeah, I did too.
And I reached out to I think his name is also Matt on Twitter. Awesome guy, also big Twins fan. And I reached out to him for like creative ideas and stuff like that. And I actually created then, as Matt knows and Peter knows, the template that we use. And I used a lot of the basis of how the other Matt was doing it and how original Showdown was doing it. So I tried to make the best guess I could at fonts and color schemes and everything and try to piece and part it all together. And then Peter reached out to me and said that he was getting people together. And so that was what, a year ago? How long ago was that?
A year or two.
So a year or two ago, Peter and Matt are just doing random, cutouts, and then I jump in,
Microsoft
and then
and now Microsoft Paint making them.
And now we're doing this new old style, I guess you should say.
Yeah.
But Peter and Matt were like the OGs, coming at it, and I like that now we have like 6 writers that are doing this, people on Twitter that are part of the blog, and then randomly that 538 is podcasting about it.
That was cool.
That was really cool that it was a reference to Peter's blog. And what I always tell people is, hey, do good things for people and just do what you love. Matt and me both love doing Showdown, love producing content. I do not care that it's free for people. I love that it's free for people because it makes the community better. And good things happen. So always help out people, keep everything good, and, good things happen to those people. So we're going to roll right into a better team, into the Padres. We're going to keep this podcast rolling. And the Padres, the first thing we'll start with, we'll just go right to the blog, is Fernandez Jr., which I've drafted in like every league, because I think he, in my opinion, is the MVP or the Rookie of the Year. I know that Alonso's doing it, but I think Tatis is the best. So talk about this Tatis a little bit. This is I best the prospect up ceiling. So this is Peter does it, I think, and you're
That's
not
from his other league, right?
Yeah, so he's in a league with a couple other guys where they do a minor league system as well, and they have like a low, like average and high ranking on a guy, and then you have to roll And again, Peter can explain this better, but you have to roll when you draft that player if you're going to get his top prospect rating, his mid-top prospect rating, or his low. Now, funny that this guy's a 10, because I actually think he's a high prospect rating right now. He's actually doing what he believes he should be doing. Maybe he's a 9, but he is very, very fast. He's going to be faster than this, I believe. Great shortstop. I know he throws like 98 miles an hour from shortstop, and he's going to have power. So he's going to be a really good card for the 2019 set.
So would you rather have this one or his dad at 5'7"?
Why can't I have them both, Matt?
I mean, you can. We need Kyle when he makes another one of those challenges to put all the father-son combos on a team.
Oh, Kyle, if you're listening, that's what we need next. Father-son combos. The other thing is, who's the guy that does the comparisons? Someone on the blog does the comparison reports.
I think it's Michael.
So if you're listening, he does the comparison reports, and I know he does like second base comparison. Third base comparison had Fernando Tatis Sr. on it. He is one of my favorite cards to draft, but I can never spend the value. I can't draft it because he's too expensive. Like I end up going value, but in this last league, I haven't really posted about it, but me and a couple of my buddies did a 2000-2001 mini series league just to get prepped for the 2018 series because we're still finishing it. And I grabbed Fernando Tatis Sr. just because I love him. I mean, he had 2 grand slams in 1 inning. I don't know how much more you need to be able to do to prove yourself. And off Chan-Ho Park, which is also a card I hate drafting.
The 2000 one? Or...
Yes. No, the 2000 one. For some reason, I just get eaten up alive with that card.
Because one, you got like the 5 through 15.
Yeah. No, but Tatis Jr., we'll see what he has in 2019. Obviously, he's not in the 2018 set. This is his prospect card that Peter did. Great value for people just like to play with fun cards, and he looks really sweet. So I like it. Thanks.
Padres.
Yeah, thanks. Did you cut this out or did Peter? So it looks amazing. So let's just go into the regular Padres, and we have AJ Ellis. Interesting card here. A 9 on base for 250 with below average arm, and really, well, he's slow. He's a C speed.
Out through 6.
Yeah. But no homer. But interesting.
I don't think he got drafted in our league.
Well, did he get drafted probably because of his 9 on base?
I don't think he did. I think he's still out there. He got picked up in the middle leagues that Kyle's running.
The only thing I like about this card is that he is a 9 on base. Yeah. I don't like the +6 defense. I mean, I like 7 or better, but and obviously I like getting around 10 if I can. But it's a weird card. If he was under 200 points, I think he would be drafted for sure. But
probably
250 is a little tough. Next up, Will Myers. Big prospect back in the day, but not doing much. Oh, weird. Is that supposed to be outfield or infield? Is that an error?
I don't know. It was in your the spreadsheet.
It's probably an error from Bob. We'll double check that, everyone that's listening, or maybe it's already been corrected, but maybe he's an infielder +1, but that's what's a little weird. So because he's a first baseman +0, so we'll double check that with the league.
Look.
We'll talk to Peter after this blog's going out. But yeah, nothing big here. He's got a little speed, but he was supposed to have so much power and just kind of fell off.
Yeah, I mean, with him at least you got the 11 and up if you get the advantage.
Yeah, which again he's a 6. He's like one better than half the some of these low guys from the Marlins. Franmil Reyes? How do you pronounce it? Do you know?
I think it's Franmil Reyes, but I just go by how I hear it.
Yeah. So he's a big trade prospect right now that I'm hearing, and he hits the ball really hard. So
having a good year this year too.
Yeah. So this is a great card if people think that the control is gonna be low, because you're talking about a 15 through 20 home run guy.
I wish I had it. I sent Peter an article about him because he's like debunking a lot of like stats. Like he's getting out so much compared to like his on base percent.
Okay.
This was a while ago, but it's just so weird. Like he's gonna break like some record this year. It sounds like for his like first like 162 games that he plays.
Really? Well, that will be interesting to see what he ends up being or who he's team he ends up being on because I know he's a big trade prospect right now. But yeah, interesting card. 7 on base, 15 to 20 home run. I mean, I've drafted Sammy Sosa, who's an 8-14.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. I mean, I could definitely see him. Was he drafted in your league?
He wasn't, but then he got picked up.
Okay, so he's
he
on
is
a team.
now. I think
Okay.
he's on the Cobra Chick.
Okay, I love their logo.
Yeah.
Talk if you could talk a little closer to your mic, Matt. You were breaking up in that last one. Hunter Renifro. Renifor is the next another guy that's on the trade market and another big home run guy here.
Yeah, it's all they have. Don't they have the short right field wall or left field wall? And
I do not know. I haven't been to their ballpark yet.
I haven't either. I always remember there's like that building at the end of the like where the foul pole is. There's like a building there. I feel like it's real short.
Okay, so maybe that's what's benefiting because I know he's on the trade block as well. So I wonder if he gets traded if he can produce the same statistics on another ballpark. But decent here. I don't know if I'd pay $240 for him, but plus defense, 6-14 to 20. What are you thinking? Do you like him?
I think for 10 points cheaper, I would go with Reyes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're giving up the defense, but you get one more on base.
And you're going to 3 less speed, though. That's a big difference, too.
3 less speed, he doesn't get out as much.
But Renifor's chart, he gets double at 10.
Yeah.
But he's a 6 out.
I think I'm biased to the 7s.
I'm with you. I don't like drafting 6s.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. All right, I'll let you continue. I actually finished my drink because usually I finish these drinks going through this. So if you want to talk about Eric Hosmer and keep going for the podcast, I'm going to go grab some more whiskey and I'll jump back in whenever you're. So keep talking, go through it. Eric Hosmer's next, people, and let's listen to what Matt has to talk about.
All right, so we got Eric Hosmer, another decent home run hitter. He's 6 on base, but you get the +1 defense for 150 points, and he's only out through 2. That seems like something that I would want on my team. And it's a shame Bob's not here to hear it because I feel like that's somebody he would want too. You get everything from this guy other than the high on base. But if you need a first baseman or a bench first baseman, that seems like a very good target to have. And then after him, we have Christian Villanueva. I had to make the font on his name smaller just to fit him on here. Another 5.
And he's a rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that rookie symbol takes up room too.
Yeah. He's very, very long name there.
He was actually really big at the beginning of the year last year. I can't believe he dropped off so far.
Yeah.
I think a bunch of fantasy leagues had him in there.
Did you get to see a Hosmer?
Yeah, I just looked at him.
1 through 2, 6.
Yeah, he's in, I actually don't. I didn't like that the Padres signed him for so much money. But he's interesting.
Yeah.
He's like an old school Todd Helton. But
the hitting.
Yeah, except he's only a 6. But like in terms of out, like people like that. I'd rather, like you said, I'd rather have the 7 than anything.
I feel like if you're going to, but at least you're only out through 2.
Yeah, he's
it's
not
almost justified.
Yeah, save those drinks that you have to drink on your own chart.
Yeah. Villanueva just feels like just a look over because he's really not. And then same with Travis Jankowski.
Yeah, the only thing I like about this is your A speed 21. So if you're in a bench league, this guy's a great pinch runner. He's not going to hurt you in left field, right field with a good chart. Again, 1 through 2 out. So
pretty sure he's on a team as well.
I don't see why not. I mean, I like the idea that he can, get there. So,
and when I was creating this league, because most leagues you do the discount for your bench.
Mm-hmm.
I chose not to because I wanted to see some of these guys make teams.
Good. I agree with you. I hate discounted benches. I prefer full leagues. In my league, though, I do an optional bench, so people decide if they want a bench or not. And
that's where I was gonna go, and I was just thinking people would just stock up on pitchers more
Yeah, that's what
because
happens.
I mean, in this league, I barely use the benches because everybody's got 10-point guys, and it's like
Yeah.
half the I'm playing it on a spreadsheet.
But
So
that's what I hate about it. People just go,
yeah,
I'm just going to grab 10-point guys. When you say that the bench is full points and it's optional, sometimes people go for that speed A guy for a pinch runner. And it happened in my league a couple times where they have a catcher on second base in the ninth inning. And they're like, nope, pinch runner, because if I get a single, I could win the game.
right. And that's where all the strategy comes in because I know somebody has Billy Hamilton on their bench, and I've only been able to pinch run him about twice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like hit or miss. You just never know.
And obviously you're playing towards Matt's playing style. Some people are more aggressive. I know in my league, there's only 2 or 3 guys that like to steal. I mean, I steal almost all the time, but
And that's why I told everybody I was like, send me your play style, how you would play this team, and I will like try and copy. Like one guy sent me like the number he's comfortable with for stealing for every player.
wow,
And it's
I
like
just
so
I just
accurate
trust you,
with
Matt.
basketball.
Obviously, you're doing good for my team.
Yeah, right.
Your spreadsheet rolls really well.
And then what do we got? Jose Perella.
Perella, yeah. Ugh, nothing
Yeah.
good here.
Just I think we're at like the Marlins point of this team too now.
Yeah, Freddie Galvis used to be decent. Again, decent defense and a good chart, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So we'll get into the again a card that's technically not in the 2018 set, but the pennant run version when Machado gets obviously traded this year. Big point totals. So you got a 9 on base. So this was his Dodger version. Okay, so
Dodger card.
So this is Dodger version into the Padres, UPS scheme, logo, color scheme. But man, what a stud on the Padres. He's doing good. How is he doing for you so far in fantasy?
He's been okay. It's my fantasy team's just been a joke. Everybody got hurt.
That's all of baseball right now.
Yeah, and it's just funny because I almost stopped paying attention to it for a while because I feel like I do better that way. Like I'll set my lineup and then I just won't look.
Yeah, don't tinker. Haven't you watched the league?
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot easier for football though because it's one day, whereas this is like we have to set a lineup for the whole week in this baseball league.
Absolutely.
So like we can't tinker throughout the week. Like we set it Sunday for the week.
So I haven't looked at my thing, but is Machado you think gonna be somewhere close to this card for next year or no?
I'm not sure.
I'd have to bring
I
up
feel
my
like he
charts.
started off really slow, so he'd have to bring it up pretty.
Okay.
I've got MLB.com open, so as we talk, I'll find them.
Okay. Obviously, great card though. Great job with doing this, and it was fun to see him on the Padres. And people that are big Padres fans will probably like it that he's there for them for
You get
now.
him and Tatis in this one.
What's up?
Get him and Tatis in this post, and they weren't even on the team. So
Exactly, and when obviously that happens when we take a long time to get producing. Hopefully, everyone that is regular listeners or regular followers to the blog that will have the 2019 set very quickly for everybody, so we can have more fun content. Matt and Peter love producing like more variant cards and different years. And the problem is when we're so busy with the 2018 set and all these cutouts, it takes away from the fun stuff that we like to do. Like my side project is doing the 1996 season, and that's been a lot of fun for me. But I don't even have time to produce it. So
yeah, it's really tough. And I wasn't even making these cards with you guys, but then I was figuring I'd try and help, which is taken away. I'd probably be about 2 weeks more ahead in the league right now.
Exactly, and this is what happens. And obviously, I have a family of are you married or you're a girlfriend, right?
Yeah,
Matt?
I'm not married. I just have a girlfriend.
Okay, yeah. So obviously, and Peter, and he's busy with his job and stuff, and it's like I'm married now with 2 kids, and it's very very difficult to put the kids to bed and then find time to cut out cards. And
yeah, exactly.
And that's what Matt, I think from Twitter, that was a big Twins fan who did the previous post, had found also with his kids, but. That's why I'm hoping that the 2019 set goes so smoothly and that we have such a good team producing these cards, which I love everyone that's producing them, and everyone has such great input and styles. So I think we're going to produce it so quickly, and then we can have more fun, and we can see more of Matt's fun stuff, more Matt running leagues, because I think you running these leagues is awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. Was it 2 years last summer? I did the cup of just all regular teams.
But what I
and play
like,
that out.
what I liked it with this one is you're getting the Twitter community involved. So there's like a lot of fun. Like I'll jump on there and like call out Bradley,
Yeah.
like Dat Boy. Is it Dat Boy X? Is jump on there. I'm like, oh, Egg, what you got? What you
Yeah,
got?
and there's 12 people that follow our blog, and we
Yeah.
did a whole draft, and we had a good time. And it's funny because we don't know each other.
Exactly. And that's what I think. What I love about your little what I like is it's again people like to play their own teams. They like to play in person. I get it. I do that as well. But what's fun is that Matt just takes that pressure off you. You can draft your team. You can make moves. You can trade. Switch your lineup around. And like you said, you could email Matt and tell him how you want your team run. But Matt's just gonna run it and give you the stats, give you the updates, and it's really fun. So hopefully next year, people, if you get in early enough, you could get with Matt. Again, follow him on Twitter. Get for the next league that's coming up. But it's been pretty fun so far. And again, maybe I'm biased because my team's doing well.
I got a Machado update for you too.
Okay, what do we got?
So last year's on base percent was 367. This year is 341.
So he's probably gonna fall down to an 8 or a 7, depending on how the league rolls out.
Yeah. And he hit 297 last year. He hit 270 this year. So he's really got to pick it up.
Yeah. So we'll see what he does. Hopefully he can make his salary worth it for them. Next up, we have Manuel Margot or whatever. Again, he was another big prospect I know for them because he was a really fast hitting guy, but not a good year for him this year.
They reflected, other than his awesome camouflage jersey.
I was gonna say the card looks baller, but yeah, 1 through 3 out. That's not bad. Decent chart on 10. He's probably getting on second base and decent center fielder for 40 points, but I hope I wouldn't have to have many 5s in my teams.
Yeah.
Austin Hedges. Ooh, he hits a home run at 15, but C plus.
Everything else.
Yeah, C+4 and a 5. I hope I never have to draft him as well. Clayton Richards, man, kind of rough.
Yeah.
With a 1 control.
This team's pretty rough this year. But I feel
Joey Lucchesi gives up a home run. Ugh.
Yeah.
Eric Lauer, 1 through 17. It's not good. And then Brian Mitchell has a 2 1 through 15. So not good there. They're gonna get a lot of boost from was it Chris? Who's the new guy for them? Chris Patton.
I think so.
And he's just putting up numbers. So the 2019 Padres are gonna be a lot better than 2018 Padres. So good job for you, San Diego Padres fans. The one good thing here is Kirby Yates.
Yeah, this bullpen's loaded.
So we got a control, and that was obviously after Brad Hand and Adam Simber went to the Indians because Brad Hand's a beast.
Yeah, and so three other guys that are dominant.
Yeah, so Kirby Yates, great closer this year in 2019, great closer in 2018. That's why they were okay with getting Brad Hand gone. 200.1 through 17 out of a 4. You know, this is like a old school like Jeff Zimmerman type person who he was a 1 through 18, but
I think he was 18.
Yeah, but no doubles here. Great, I think a great chart. 1 through 10 strikeout. He got drafted, I'm sure, in your league, right? Yeah. Then you got Matt Strahm. Strom. Wow, this guy's a beast. This kind of guy I like. A 5 that's 1 through 16 out. Like this guy, I'd prefer over Yates because I can save 20 points.
Right.
But man, that's
you could go an extra inning and still have a 4.
Yeah, exactly. For only 180, and I get the 1 through 16 out. Now, the good thing about Yates is people that know me. I know I love no doubles, so that's probably why I would draft Yates. But Matt Strahm is beast.
And it doesn't get any weaker when you go to the next guy.
So we got next guy is Craig Stammen. Wow. Yeah. So this guy I really like. So 5 no double 1 through 15 out. That's my kind of player.
Just imagine adding Hand back to this.
That's impressive. I mean, Simber has been really wishy-washy for the Indians, but as a lady's been okay. But Hand has been a beast.
Right. Well, then you go to the last guy here, and the Indians just picked him up. So.
Oh, really? Phil Matton? So he's whatever. 1 through 16 now is a 1. No big deal. But I like the Padres. A lot better than the Marlins. But I think I was going to say, at least the Padres of 2019 are going to be really good versus the Padres of 2018. So
I'm excited to see team.
Yeah, Padre fans are going to be really happy about, I think, what they're seeing coming for the future, and I'm glad they have a great prospect. They have a great minor league system, and hopefully they can do really well.
See Mejia get a card.
Well, Mejia, I was debating if that was a bad decision by the Indians to get rid of, but he's not doing that great for the Padres. So
He hasn't really done any. I think Hedges is their starter.
mm-hmm. So it's I'm kind of good on the Indians to recognize that, but sad for the Padres, I guess, fans to have him.
I actually remember the hype when he had like a 45 game hitting streak.
Yeah, I mean he was a beast in the minor leagues. So that is the Padres, and I know again everyone's like, "Oh my god, this podcast is still going on." I know, and I've been drinking this whole time, so my words.
Wait, there's more.
I know. Wait, there's more, and Bob's words will get slurred more and more. Last but not least, I know we were going to do a podcast just the Padres and Marlins, but I was able to get some time getting the kids to bed early, watching Stranger Things on Netflix. I'm able to get the freaking Rangers done. The Rangers are not exciting, everyone, but the Mariners will be more exciting. So let's go to the Rangers, which Matt has able to see, so we can start talking about them as well. We have Delino DeShields. Again, the podcast, if you're watching the podcast, this hasn't been posted yet, so you'll see this sort of as a preview podcast. But later on, you'll see it as an actual blog. So Delino DeShields I had starting off. I don't know.
Well, you could add their son team.
Is he drafted for you?
No, just remember I was saying we needed a challenge with the father and son.
Yeah.
In the 2000s.
Isn't his dad the batting coach for a different team?
I think so.
Because I thought he went out and hugged him one game or something. So best thing about this card, there actually is a decent amount of upside here, is that he has a crazy good chart with a 14 or higher on second base, and crazy good speed with A21 and a center field +3. But
great defense too.
Yeah, exactly. It's the +3, but man, the 6 on base is a killer.
Yeah.
But I actually see him being draftable, but just under. Again, if he was a 7, he'd be a stud.
Yeah, he would.
And then me and probably Matt's favorite is Shin-Soo Choo, former Indians, and somehow this guy doesn't age.
Nope.
Because I think he's still an on-base 10 right now. Just to let you know.
He's having another good year.
He just keeps producing. I love this guy.
Power, not a lot of power, but he just keeps hitting it.
Yeah, he's a great contact. I can't believe. I mean, I'm sad the Indians don't have him anymore, but man, he just keeps putting the ball in play.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get a 10 on base with no power for 350. Again, the outs kind of hurt you, but if you're a 10 that doubles at 17, that seems like a pretty decent card.
I think it'd be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as long as you have the defense somewhere else to back it up.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. But again, Peter's been going against the defense because, I guess outfield defense is more important than infield defense because ground ball rates are lower because more people strike out. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, I
feel like the outfield defense doesn't play a huge factor, but it can late in game on a sac fly or something like that.
Or a guy advancing from. I've seen a lot of guys trying to get home from second base, advancing one base, and it's been pretty beneficial. And that's when you want that's what's interesting about the Texas Rangers. If you're playing the team set, you got at least Delino DeShields in center field.
Yeah, and he that cancels out Chu, and all of a sudden you're well balanced.
Yep. And then we have Adrian Beltre, retirement Beltre. Loved him to death. He was great, and he was an original Showdown card, so it's pretty cool. So when you're seeing this on the blog, I'll probably have the side by sides up. But if you're doing this right now on the podcast, you won't be seeing that. But just slow guy, but good fielding.
Yeah.
And a 7, so that's right up your alley, Matt.
Yeah, it's perfect because he's been in the majors for 18 years, and he's still playing defense. He's still hitting.
I mean, I love these guys. I mean, I want to keep saying anybody that touches the Indians plays forever, like CeCe and Bartolo, but Adrian never made his way that way.
Nope, just hurt us a couple times.
Yes. So I love the card though. I think the Shin-Soo Choo I blew up a little bit, came out really good. Some of the blue on blue is a little blurry, but I love the red jersey with the blue background. And what's your thoughts on the artwork? Seeing this for the first time.
I like it because yours just seems to pop.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're using a different blur because we both use the gauge and blur, so I don't know why, but sometimes it just looks a little. Maybe because you're in GIMP and I'm in Photoshop.
Yeah, I do everything in GIMP. So maybe, and I'm using the newest version of GIMP. The only thing I don't like is my fade around the lettering. Your fade looks better, or my fade around the lettering looks a little too stagnant, I think. But yeah, they pop off these cards. It looks very nice. So again, everything will be regulated better in the 2019 set. This is our first time, everybody. Like me and Peter, and we're just like, let's just fucking do it. And Matt's been helping. Like it's been a wild ride trying to figure out if we can actually do this or not.
And we basically did it. So
yeah. So next up we have Joey Gallo, which I know my friend was just asking about. He's like, is Joey Gallo a decent outfielder? I'm like, he's an incredible outfielder.
Yeah.
He throws 97 plus from the outfield, straight guns to like second base.
And I had to pull it up as we were talking. I pulled up the one that Bradley posted so we could kind of get a glimpse in the next year.
Now, I think he's dropped a little bit since then because he was
Right.
a 10, I believe.
Yeah.
I think
So he
he's
might be
like a
a
9 or an
nine
8 now, but he's still crushing the ball.
I mean, a 6 at 13 is fantastic.
yeah.
But to be getting one that might be a 10 or a 9 that hits at 15 or 16, that's a whole different player right there.
I just wish he would have been in the home run derby because I'd love to see his power. So let's break this card down. It's actually one of the most intriguing cards I've ever created. So we have a 6 on base, slow base runner that can play first base, but has a plus outfield and left right field. So you're like, oh sweet, he can hit home runs at 13, but he can't hit a single. So if anybody knows Joey Gallo in real life, he actually just like blew through the record for the fastest player to hit 100 home runs, I think it was, and like where his singles range. He actually has more home runs and singles in his career. The next person, I don't know if you saw this statistic, Matt, was Russell Branyan.
Oh, and that makes sense.
Yes. So, but Russell Branyan had like 90 more singles when he hit 100.
Wow.
And it was the next closest guy. So it was ridiculous statistic. I mean, it's incredible what Joey Gallo is doing. But he's defended on multiple occasions in interviews where he says, I do more value for my team hitting home runs. So this is the kind of card you're going to get. You're going to get a guy that strikes out, he's going to take some walks, and he's going to hit the ball really hard. So he's probably going to double and hit home runs. So wild card.
He's in our league, and he's struggling is probably the best way to put it.
Well, he's a 6 on base. But I think his next year card is going to be really good and really draftable.
Oh, yeah.
Which, explain really quickly, do you have something where if you took the guy early, you could upgrade him, but he probably wasn't drafted early enough, right?
Yeah, I'd have to look. So the way that I established it was I wanted, if you took the guy in the first 10, so the first half of the draft,
Yep.
you had the choice of the 18 or the 19 at the 18 price.
Yep.
And but you can't, if you take the 19 version, you can use them at the 19 price. But I mean, it just makes more sense if you have a better one, you're going to use the cheaper points. And after that, if you took him 11 through 20, he's still eligible to be on your team, but you have to take the 19 version.
Yeah, I think that might be a positive upgrade though if you have them.
Oh yeah.
So that's what's interesting. That's why it's so intriguing about your league. So again, if people hit him up on Twitter, he's got a lot of fun posts and a lot of fun content that he's producing. So follow him.
Because what I was gonna do it where this is your team, and next year you just get the 2019 version unless they don't get a card. But I was like, yeah, let's add a little random wrinkle because I didn't tell anybody about it until after the draft, so nobody knew. And that way it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it. It wasn't like you drafted for that strategy. You drafted for a strategy, and then you maybe got a bonus.
I feel like a lot of people will get random ones that you probably aren't even thinking of yet, but there might be a random thing that helps your team.
But that's what's so good about paying attention to baseball. Like, pay attention, Joey Gallo's doing really good this year.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody's thinking about it yet, but if your team's not doing so hot and you want to make a couple roster moves towards the end of the season and pick up some guys that
Yep.
had pretty crappy cards, you might be able to improve that way.
Absolutely. This is the time. Talk to Matt.
Yeah.
Next up, we have a couple big drop-offs in Nomar Mazara and Ronald Guzman, the rookie. But I actually like Nomar a lot. I think he's going to be a really good player. He reminds me of like Juan Gonzalez a lot by the way he holds himself as a player. I actually would prefer him over Ronald Guzman, but they're very similar cards.
Yeah, they really are.
One has less outs, but they're both going to get on at the same sort of clip. So just what you like.
I don't think I could say positively that I've watched a Texas Rangers game in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys are pretty new for me, other than like Odor and.
Well, I only watch Odor's highlights when he's punching Joey Batista, Joey in the face, Joey Bats. But I've seen some games where Nomar has played the Indians, and when I see him, I think of Juan Gonzalez. It's me personally, guys. Don't worry, he's not Juan Gonzalez, but he reminds me of him. And I think if he could just get a little bit better, he's got the power. So it's really interesting. Ronald Guzman has a little bit of fielding, but I wouldn't draft any of these guys. Robinson Chirinos, I posted to my friends, and they laughed at this. I think he's the lowest catcher arm in the league.
That's a scary catcher to have.
I would hope that no one's drafting him, so we'll just kind of move on. But it's a weird chart. Homers at 17, outs at 2. Weird. Elvis Andrus, the Indian killer. I'm sure that Matt knows this. He kills the Indians. But a good shortstop here is a +4. So, but not the best chart. But doubles at 14. That's pretty decent. Again, Rognen Odor, great fielder, has some pop, but he's wishy-washy.
It does a lot minus getting out at through 5.
Yeah. So if you can get advantage as a 7, pretty decent. Again, I just want him to punch Joey Bats in the face. I almost used that card as the picture, but I chose not to be more professional. We're professional here, people. Jurickson Profar is probably the card that most people want. Yeah. So I put him on the bench because I just didn't really have a spot for him. I don't know how much he starts, and obviously he's on Oakland now. But he doesn't get out much. He's got plus speed, no fielding, and a great chart.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that I've talked to in my league are looking forward to a guy like this.
I think next year's might be even better because I think he's eligible for second base now too.
Oh wow! So we'll see what happens for his next year card, but the 9+, getting a single plus and then a 10 double is huge, and then being an ace speed 20 is a monster. But he hasn't really lived up his potential. So I'm hoping for Oakland. I know Peter was hoping for Oakland that he lives up to his potential. Next up, we have Isaiah Kiner Falefa. This card, another weird card. He's actually a better catcher than Robinson, but a worse chart, but also can play multiple utility spots at a plus clip. So, weird chart. Weird.
He's everywhere.
Yeah. What I like about this card is probably just his image, because he pops so well with the red.
I think is that the first red one we've seen.
Yeah.
We had
red helmets, but yeah, Nomar has it. But yeah, he's a very poppy player. But there's not much on the Rangers to draft about. I think Jurickson Profar is the guy you're looking for, or if you're crazy about Joey Gallo.
He does He does everything at least. You can great bench guy if you want to pinch run at some point. You got 3 positions.
I've always wanted to do a league I've read about where you play injuries, and every game you have to roll before the game starts a 1 through 20, and if you roll like a 1, your guy's hurt for that game.
Oh, okay.
And then you have to roll another dice to determine how long he's hurt, but I don't know how that exactly works. But let's just say your guy's hurt. You actually have to have a bench available to put in, or you're gonna get -5 at that position.
There was a moment when I was making this league that I was gonna go 25-man roster with guys getting random days off.
Yeah,
but that just felt like too much work.
Well, and it is. But I've joked about, and I might, the more my friends get maybe into this league or not, into an injury league where you really got to play with a guy that you just roll dice. Oh, he's got to take a rest day, or boom, he's actually injured Like you roll the 1 through 20, and if it's a 1, he has to take a rest day or he's injured, and then you have to roll again to find out if he's actually just resting or injured, and then you're like, oh shit, like, you know.
Yeah.
So I might do that one time. If my friends are listening to this podcast, sorry if you guys get roped into this, but I think it'd be really fun to then really have to strategically base your bench to be able to be a utility guy. You know, you can't just grab a 10-point player. You have to think about this.
It's all about experimenting when you play too, because that the little wrinkles when you're playing with your friends makes it even more fun, and you
Yep.
add the drinking element into it, you're gonna have a great time.
I don't know who drinks, you know, not me. Finally, we get
Oh,
to some of the
but
what's up?
I was trying to tell you before. Jose just hit a 2-run home run.
Oh, hold on. Oh, check my fantasy league. I have Jose Ramirez in my league, and we're both big Indians fans. And bada bing, bada boom, keeps his hitting streak alive and is helping my fantasy team. Indians are up 5-3. Love it.
It'll be interesting to see if he can get at least to an 8 or a 9 this year with this terrible.
Yeah, what I've talked to people I'm in a bunch of fantasy leagues. I'm in one with some podcasters from Twitter and I've told them like at home he is way better than away. He is killing it at home.
It's funny because the one guy I listen to, because I have XM,
Yep.
and he always talks about playing the Lindor and Ramirez when they're at home.
Yep.
And he said, if you look at their splits, like they're doing something to the baseballs in Cleveland.
I hope it doesn't get checked then.
Yeah, that's his stance all the time.
So next up we have some of the pitchers. Again, this is not an exact order, but Big Sexy makes his retirement return for this league, and he's not playing 2019, which sucks. I know he's training still, but I'll have a side by side with the original, you know, Bartolo Colon, which I think he's a 3.
40 points.
Yeah, he's a beast in the original, but he didn't really do it last year. He's got a 0 home run chart. I really hope no one's drafting him other than nostalgia purposes. 17. Yeah. I mean, he's interesting, but man, that home run chart, I don't want him.
This whole pitching staff, jeez.
Yeah, Martin Perez, another 0 gives a home run, and the balls are flying in Texas. And Colorado, who I think came from the Brewers, another 10, just a 0. So you got 3 zeros. The only highlight is Mike Minor, who's doing well this year too.
Yeah, he's having a good year too this year. Wasn't he in your post?
Lance Lynn is going to have a good 2019 card. But yeah, for a 340 from Mike Minor, 3 control, 1 through 16 out. He's definitely draftable. Nothing crazy there, but the rest of the Texas squad is awful.
Minor was in your most recent post too, right? For next season.
Let me check real quick. I think he is one of the top pitchers. Let me see what Bradley does my artwork. Yeah, Mike Minor. So right now, Mike Minor before 3. So if you have him in Matt's league, he's a 3, 340, 6-inning pitcher who's 1 through 16 out. Next year, right now, he is trending at a control 5, 6-inning pitcher, 1 through 16 out, no doubles. That's a huge improvement. Now, one thing I will tell you is that the charts that I'm running are not based on per innings right now. They are based on year totals. So when I do pitcher charts, throughout the season, they drastically change as result totals come in. So a lot of these guys are no doubles. They'll end up getting a double, so he'll probably reduce it a lot. But still, a 5, 1 through 16 out, 1 through 17 out is a stud. So hopefully, if you have Mike Minor, you're gonna be upgrading to a Mike Minor in 2019. The reliever staff is not good either. We got a 90-point guy, 2 1 through 17 out. I don't really want him. One control, 1 through 16 out. Alex Gladia is not good, and then Kian Kella. I really don't like him, even though he has no doubles. But
it's number 5 bullpen arm, maybe.
I mean, I just don't like spending 100 points for a 2 control guy.
You went with like Rodney and
but they were value. Like they were 20-point guys. Matt Moore. I don't want to give up a home run, but let's just go really quickly to Jose Leclerc. He all of a sudden is like one of the best guys on this Texas roster.
He is.
So he is like a Jeff Zimmerman, a 4 1 through 18 out, super good player. Definitely a drop off through 2019. He's not doing well at all, but I mean for right now, card pops. He's a great closer. I think people should be drafting this guy if they haven't already.
He's dominating in our league right now
Is he
too.
really?
Pulled it up because I was curious. He's got 5 saves
Wow.
and in 10 innings pitched. He hasn't given up a run yet.
Who has him? Is it Cobra Chickens?
Bay Bridge Blasters.
Who is that? Do you know?
Doesn't have a Twitter. I know that. He just follows the blog
Okay,
because
cool.
he emailed how he got in.
All right, good job, Bay Ridge, on that.
He has Strom from the Padres too, so he's got 2 of those real strong relievers. But yeah, he's only given up. He hasn't even given up a hit. He's given up 2 walks in 10 innings.
Wow. So that's the kind of guy you're looking at, people, if you're drafting this. When you're looking at a closer like this, who's a 4 control, a Jeff Zimmerman from old 2000 type, he's going to give you those results. And
20
actually,
to get.
yeah, that's what I like about having Matt here on the podcast is he has some of the data from a drafting thing to back it up.
It'll be fun to look at it once like we get towards the end of the season to see who's really standing out, because there's still a couple guys that are looking like outliers.
Yeah. So we'll probably have a recap blog at the end of the season. Matt will probably produce. Maybe we can podcast again, maybe with Peter, so we can bitch and moan about our teams. And maybe we can see if other people from the Twitter, if you guys are listening, if you guys want to jump in, we can, talk to you about your strategy and drafting and what the heck you did or what you didn't like about your team and Matt's sort of take. So
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, me and Peter did the recap of the draft, but it's interesting to do a recap after the season's over. So, everyone, that's what I know about these 3 teams. We did an hour-long blog podcast, so hopefully you listen to this whole thing. If you didn't, I understand. I don't have the best voice, so sign off early.
At the radio.
Yeah, but hopefully everyone liked it. And the next up, I think, is the Giants.
Yep, they're done. I already submitted them to Peter.
Okay, so that will probably
done, and I have the Phillies offense done. I just have to do their pitching.
Okay, so next up will probably be another double blog where we do our double podcast where it's either me and Matt or me and Peter and Matt or me and Peter where we do the Giants and the Phillies. And so hopefully we can keep this guys rolling. Everyone hopefully keeps loving the podcast and loving the blog. Let me know your guys' thoughts. If you have any questions about anything or anything you'd like to see us do, again, follow us on Twitter. You can suggest things there. People always are reaching out to me on Twitter, and I hopefully I'm responding well enough to people. But let us know. Let us know your thoughts. Any closing words?
No, it was tons of fun. I'm up to do it again, and hopefully we're gonna be done with this by mid-August, I would say.
I better hope so, because I know we have our 2018 draft coming up that you're part of. So
yeah,
that's
we're gonna have by the time we do that draft.
Yeah, I gotta get my 2000 series done before I get to this draft, but I know that it will be because we're getting it done. But everyone, I'm glad you guys listened, and thanks again, Matt, for being here. And
for having me.
Absolutely. And everyone, thanks for listening, and hopefully see you again soon.